My 38M wife 36F freaked out and hit me when I tried to initiate, and I can't get over it. So my backstory, I am a recovering addict 4 years sober from a long line of addicts. Add to that I was mold-ted by an older girl in elementary school. So needless to say I have some self-esteem issues and issues around socks. I am very involved in therapy and have learned a lot about myself. Her backstory, in the last 5 years her dad has died, mother had a mental break and can no longer care for herself. And both of her living grandparents are very ill and likely won't live much longer. On top of that we are going through fertility treatments again after a mischarge last year. We met in the military, both discharged now, and have a 4-year-old daughter. So we have always had a very active socks life. My wife is rather submissive and rarely initiates, but for most of our relationship has never refused me. We both work in childcare where we live is crazy expensive, so we mostly work opposite shifts to minimize care need. This means that most of the time we are ships passing in the night. For instance, last month we slept in the same bed at the same time 3 nights. Needless to say this has severely put a cramp on our intimacy, communication, hell it's borderline broken our marriage. We have definitely pulled away from one another. My wife rarely wants socks now and almost never says yes when I initiate. It feels like 100 different excuses: tired, too much on her mind, not showered, Flash to about 6 weeks ago we actually had a whole day off together and of course had a million things that needed to get done that day and we were working through them together. We had not had socks in 3 months at that point. Our daughter still naps for about 2 hours each day, and after putting her to bed my wife came into our bedroom and started helping me make the bed. We had been rather playful all day and I passionately kissed her, playfully tackled he onto the old sheets. I have done this 1,000 times in the past and usually really gets her in the mood. She screams "get off me" and punches me in the eye. I am 6 feet 3 inches 245 and done MMA my whole life. She is not even 5 and petite. It didn't even hurt. But the shock of her hitting me and the look of anger and fear on her face just broke something in me. I just got up and left the house. I ran some errands and came back home later that night. She never even texted me while I was out. That night after our daughter was in bed I confronted her with WTF was that. I told her it makes me feel like I was trying to force myself on her. What the hell is going on? Why are you never in the mood? Huge fight that boils down to she freaked out due to our daughter being in the other room and she is just so mentally exhausted with everything going on. I said that doesn't really explain the disgusted look or the punch. Her words, "I am sorry you feel that way." I had apologized for scaring her but she didn't apologize for anything. Later that night when we were both in bed she tried to initiate but I couldn't even get it up. I told her to get off me or I would get her off me and rolled over. I was convinced she was cheating on me and did the whole snooping thing, got tracking software, cameras, all that stuff. She chats with her sisters, her BFF, plays a few phone games and social media with kid pics, that's it. So I confront her with how unhappy we seem. That we both seem checked out and if we don't want to get divorced we need to make more effort. She agreed. I can honestly say we both have really put in the effort. We have both read several books and really tried to communicate better. Still don't have a lot of face-to-face time but that can't really be helped at this time. I can see that in many ways I am falling more in love with her than ever and she says the same. Life should be better. The problem is I have nightmares every night, all night. Terrible dreams where I force her or I catch her talking acid to her friends about me. She wants to cuddle and my skin crawls. I normally have a very high socks drive and I don't even want to touch her. I don't even get spontaneous wood anymore. My therapist is great and has really tried to help but I just feel broken. I have huge trust issues due to my effed up family and it doesn't take much for me to just cut you out of my life. I always felt it was us against the world and now I just feel like she is some outsider or enemy. Has anyone ever gone through similar? How do I save my marriage? Really need advice. Update. How do I tell my daughter that mom is going to jail? So long story short, divorcing my wife over cheating. Now to find out her AP was blackmailing her over tax-related fraud. So now everything is getting blown up and looks like soon-to-be ex is potentially going away for a long time. How do I talk about this with my 4-year daughter? Visitation in jail? Mind is kinda blown. Update, STBXW was apparently blackmailed into cheating. Am wrong for still seeking divorce. As the title says, he blackmailed her into affair. What do you think? Redditors' reactions. Last update after this section. Redditor 1, you can respect the reality of the situation and yet still acknowledge that it's something you cannot move past. Op answer, I agree, but almost everybody close to us is saying she was R and I am the worst person ever for not trying to work it out. Redditor 2, what was the specific threat or blackmail? Was it credible? And what other recourse was there? To me that would make the difference. For example, if the threat was sleep with me or I'll lie and tell your spouse you did anyway. That's not a reasonable threat. BC your spouse should trust you enough to not believe the person lying. If the threat was like sleep with me or I'll kill you, I'd want to know whether that's something the person could do, and why she couldn't call the police. If it's like sleep with me or I'll show your nudes, that's a bad reason to give in. BC's time is so much worse than nudes. Op answer, so she is an accountant and screwed up royally, as in possibly going to prison. Her boss found out and blackmailed her. Redditor 3, I'd say it's wrong to be mad at her for being our ped, but that you are always free to exit a relationship you do not want to be in anymore. Op answer, I am mad she didn't talk to me about what was going on and trust in me to protect her. I am mad about the sick acid she did to me for his pleasure. I can't even look at our old pictures without breaking down. Update, why does she want to be honest now and fight for our marriage now? So together 11 years, married 6. She cheated and acted like a total scumbag. I went no contact and was kind of pulling my life back together a bit. Her lawyer reaches out to mine that she is willing to sign whatever agreement I want if I am willing to sit down and talk to her for closure. In my state, if you're a male you just get screwed in the divorce no matter what the story is. So I agree because I just want my daughter and I know there is almost no way I get custody of her otherwise. So she is a crying mess and I am just getting more angry as the conversation goes on. She goes into the whole I am so sorry, I want to save us, I will do anything, you are the only one I have ever loved, don't stop fighting for us, act. She gave me a folder that has a whole timeline that is sitting in the trunk of my car. Considering burning the car so I never have to touch it again. I feel like where was this a year ago? Or was this 4 months ago when I was getting gaslighted and told everything was in my head? Where was this when you were screwing AP and who knows how many other people at your swinger parties? Can any partners that committed affairs explain why? Why even bother? Just go be with him, he is single. Is it that she wants to duck with my head more? I feel like I used to know her and she seems sincere but I just don't care. Why not just own your scumbaggery? Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, she is a crying mess and I am just getting more angry as the conversation goes on. She goes into the whole I am so sorry, I want to save us, I will do anything, you are the only one I have ever loved, don't stop fighting for us. You know this is all home theater, right? Take her back and you will be back in this nightmare in 2 years. Op answer, we'll never take her back, ever. I just don't get why now she wants us so bad. Redditor 2, because now she is running out of options. You seem to be her last hope now. Redditor 3, smart thing to do is manipulate her back to her what you want in the divorce. Tell her that you're willing to try but y'all still need to get divorced first to start fresh. Get what you need in the divorce. Don't start fresh. Redditor follow up, it sounds like he got custody, the house, and owes no alimony. If there's such a thing as winning in a divorce for a man, he's as close to that as possible. Redditor 4, did you ask her these questions while with the lawyers? Probably should have. Next meeting have all documents ready for signatures and tell her there is no chance at reconciliation for this marriage, but there may be an opportunity for a future relationship. She can claim anything and everything, but this is a test if she can honor her word because she didn't the first time. Good luck, man, I hope life moves forward the best for you. Op answer, everything is shut down till after the new year but my lawyer has the paperwork from hers already. I get full custody in the house. We keep our own retirements and cars. No alimony. She pays me child support for visitation when she gets a job. Reconciliation was never an option for me. Shit was way too ducked up and with my baseline trust issues not viable. Redditor 5, I am not an affair partner, so I hope you don't mind my conjecture. Because I struggle too. But I think their brains broke. I think she thinks of herself as a human toilet, so acts of desperation are better than having to sit with her asset. Can you imagine? I surely cannot, which is why I would not do something like that. But, I am with you, I would rather burn the car. Don't open that folder. You have come too far. Op answer, yeah, that's all I have been able to come up with. Or just trying to hold on to some normalcy when her world is exploding around her. Redditor 6, throw her back to the street and she wants a home. So what do you think she will do?